Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's pattern is by Steve Good. Very simple, straightforward, but I did purchase new blades and they were the crown tooth, which are reversible. So I gave this a go. I did buy a thinner blade, a smaller blade, instead of a variety pack. And in doing so, I found out very quickly that this blade was not right for this type of wood. Being such a fine blade, it was extremely flexible and wouldn't hold on the lines where I needed it to be. So after the O, I did attempt to do the R, thinking maybe I just need to get used to it a little bit and, see if it was me and not the blade. I probably should have stopped after the O, but hey, why not? Let's just keep going. But I did end up changing this blade out. I had no choice. It's such a simple pattern. There is no point in me struggling through these cuts with a blade that wasn't right for the job. I initially got this size blade for the thin stock plywood, the birch, Baltic birch, and I'm going to be trying that out in the next live with this particular blade. So I switched it out to a polar blade. It was a number 7, and that polar blade is really wonderful for this type of wood. I found myself just adjusting through the first cut, and it was very little effort for the rest of the piece. For all the new scrollers out there, it's really important to have the correct blade. It's really important to understand that it's not always you. I'm starting to make a list now. So this particular wood is cherry, the thickness, and what blade I used to cut this pattern on this type of wood. The thing is, I don't need to know what doesn't work. I just need to start documenting the best blade for the type of wood I have in stock. I chose this pattern because oftentimes I'm thinking ahead, and I have to remind myself that I am here right now in this moment. So cutting this and keeping it in my shop when I'm doing the scrolling, it'll help keep me centered, keep me focused in this moment. I don't get too far ahead of myself, and which oftentimes happens to me towards the end of a pattern. I get really excited, and that's when I seem to make the most mistakes. So hey, why not? You are here. This is the moment. There's no need to be thinking about anything else. If you weren't able to attend my live stream, what ended up happening last week where I wasn't able to upload a video, I had a townwide garage sale that I participated in on Friday and Saturday, and it was a lot more work than I anticipated, and I just did not have time or energy to be at the saw. So this is the first time I've gotten to the saw in over a week and a half. The garage sale was very successful. It was well worth the time and the energy I put into it. I also have a lot of stuff that is didn't sell, so that's all going to be donated, and because I refuse to bring it back into the house. It's been in there for too many years already, and it's just time to start thinning things out. I did end up selling a lot of the woodworking projects that I had accumulating, so that was another blessing, although I do still have quite a bit left. So I am going to be gifting some of those and also donating with the other stuff that I have to get out of the house. I was really quite pleased with how this pattern was cutting, and being thankful that the right blade for the job, how important that was, and how much that allowed me to just keep going and do this cut in one fell swoop. Normally I stop, take a break. I didn't have to do that today. It took approximately 35 minutes to cut. With that being said, I realized I had some issues with my camera. I left it in and tried to cover it up a little bit so it's not so shocking to the eyes. I have no idea why this happened. because it corrected itself after about 25 seconds. So I'm going to have to look into possibly using a different camera. I did buy a cheap webcam, so oftentimes you get what you pay for. But I'll find out, because this did happen once again towards the end of the video, so I'm not sure what the status is with that. I did upgrade some software on my computer. That could have been the problem. I just don't know, because the camera itself, to operate for 20-30 minutes or 15-20 minutes and then all of a sudden malfunction and then stop, it's kind of strange to me. So I'd like to thank you for putting up with that. Before I did this pattern, I've been saying before, be mindful of where you put your pilot holes and what size, etc. I was watching or looking at this in a sense of how I wanted to do my cuts. Obviously, the inside cuts get done first, but I was really analyzing how I wanted to do the outside cuts so that it would be the easiest for me without any hassle. And so I had a clear-cut vision in mind. As you saw, that I went across the top, got rid of that, and then I'm taking these sections all the way across the way I do it to keep me from making mistakes. If I tried to do the whole parameter of the outside edge of this pattern, I think I would have tired pretty quickly and got sloppy. So as you can see, this section I'll cut off, remove, move on to the next section. And there was a couple of spots like you see here that I let it go so I could go ahead and correct it afterwards. It didn't make sense for me to struggle through those fine curves. Now, I don't know if you noticed, there was a pair of glasses on the table. And I bought those at a garage sale of my neighbor for $1. Thank you very much. And they are 2X. The glasses I was using were 1 1/4, which that part was fine, but the lenses were very small. And what I liked about this new set of glasses, even though they're 2X, I like the fact that the lenses were a lot larger and it gave me more eye protection. And the 2X was actually a little bit nicer. I didn't realize how well that would work versus 1.25. Now, as far as reading glasses go, I do not need them, but for the scroll saw, I tell you that the lines are not that dark. If they were a darker line, which I'm not going over them to make that happen, I wouldn't need the glasses at all. I would just need straight up safety glasses to protect my eyes. So cutting straight across at the top on the first cut, you're going to see why it was so much easier for me to cut out the Y and make it look crisper and cleaner without being so meticulous in doing it in one cut. I was concerned as I got further across about the arrow, but with this being cherry and being, I forgot how thick, 3/4 inches thick, I wasn't too worried, and plus the grain was long ways with the arrow, so I didn't think there was going to be much of a chance of that being brittle enough to break. Yeah, we're getting down to the wire now. I get excited when I get to this part because I just can't wait to see what it looks like complete. The other issue with the blade I started with, I would have not been able to make these lines as straight as they are. That crown tooth blade wandered something awful just on curves. I can't imagine what it would have been like on the straight lines. And I'm pretty meticulous on straight lines being perfect versus rounded lines. So this, again, was a good choice to switch out the blade before it became a serious problem. I do apologize for the camera malfunction. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. God bless and take care.